Microsoft just released 5.4 reasoning. It's just a 14 billion parameter model, but it's performing, so this is the dark green one, is performing close to DeepSeek R1, which is 15 times bigger model. And this is O1, OpenAI O1. So it's performing better than even O3-mini in some of the benchmarks, which is crazy because it's just 14 billion parameters. So it's 5 to 15 times smaller than these models. So these are examples of the reasoning. How many strawberries do I need to collect 9 R's? And it says since strawberry has 3 R's, then you need 3 times 3, which is 3 strawberries for 9 R's. Here are some other examples. For example, solving a riddle. They gave it a riddle, and then it's here thinking and explaining. Here we can see some requirements availability, and it needs to find a best calendar schedule. And it found it. And then here we see maze. So I think they did not show this image, but they described the image with words, and then it described the output with words. When collecting training data, they collect problems that require reasoning, and they collect ones that are not too simple and not too hard, but just at the edge of 5-4 stability. And they use LLMs to filter out all of the questions that just require factual recollection as opposed to long chain of thought reasoning, and to discard those kind of questions. So they added new think tokens within the vocabulary by replacing some placeholder tokens of the base 5.4, and they extended. So this is important because now this is not made by 3 tokens like this bracket, this word think, and this bracket. Now it's just 1 token, which makes it easier for LLM to understand what this means. So now it will learn to use this token to start and end its thinking process. And also, they extended context window from 16K to 32K because reasoning needs more context window. So they have 1.4 million prompt response pairs for the supervised fine-tuning, so for the reasoning training. So I believe they begin with supervised fine-tuning, and are they using GRPO or PPO later, we'll see. What it means is they just have a question and response, and they just train the AI to learn to write that response based on that question. It's not gonna write the same response every time, but they are just training it, the thinking process, because they have so many examples. It's gonna learn general thinking step by step as opposed to memorize the questions, the answers. But the difference between this is just training. This already has correct question and answer, but things like GRPO by DeepSeek, it just has it's gonna produce its own 8 answers, and then the answers are gonna be compared to the ground truth, and then that's how it's gonna learn. It's gonna know which answers are good, which are not. But in their method, it's not producing its own answers. It just already has questions and correct answers for each question, and then just learns like that to produce them. Here we can see that as they train the reasoning, as more the accuracy on AIME, which is mathematics benchmark, is increasing steadily, or actually quite a lot. And GPQA Diamond, those are also, I think, scientific questions, and it's also increasing. Here we have response length as the training goes on. So we have these 3 different methods of measuring or something, but as you can see, it's going down the response length, meaning that a model is learning how to use less words, or maybe it's becoming more intelligent, so it knows faster, how to get to the answer faster without so much thinking. So we can see that it starts here and then it goes down. Here I will just scroll for you if you want to check, but this is just more details. So about hyperparameters, synthetic data, system message, and this is their system message that they have. And if I keep scrolling below, we can see that they are actually using GRPO, DeepSeek GRPO. And they say that just small set of 6,400 examples provide significant improved accuracy over many math and reasoning evaluations. So this was just used for math, with math examples, but it also improves accuracy generally over reasoning evaluations. They describe how they did the reasoning. They have a bunch of math formulas here. So this is reinforcement learning, I'm thinking. Yeah, this is all, I think, GRPO. And then we have some graphs show that accuracy and reward are increasing over number of steps. Here as well, this is AMI accuracy, so the mathematics accuracy versus yeah, its accuracy is increasing over time. If we scroll further, they say that further improvements to GRPO can be achieved through rejection sampling, so based solely on response length, particularly for responses significantly exceeding the median length. So the problem are incorrect responses whose length grows rapidly through the training. So there is a bug in GRPO that if the answer is incorrect but very long, the neural network gets less punishment or maybe more reward. So it's kind of incentivized if the answer is incorrect to generate very long incorrect answers. So there is DR Doctor GRPO or DRGRPO, another version of this algorithm that claims to fix this bug, so maybe they can just use that algorithm instead. I can continue checking down below, so we have a bunch of these benchmarks here. So the reasoning plus, the one with GRPO, that's achieving higher than even this reasoning without a small amount of GRPO. Now we also have DeepSeek R1 and Gemini 2.5 Pro, although these are small models, so you shouldn't really compare them, but it's interesting to see. But this is currently the best model in the world by use and by feeling and by benchmarks and by everything. We can go down below. They wrote a bunch of explanations. Here we have a bunch of reasoning benchmarks. So the green ones, those are gonna be our models, 5 for reasoning. So they just give more explanations. We can check below. Here, these are different models on this competition math questions through different years. And you see 1994, there is a big dip in performance for all models, and 2025 for some reason. You can see that R1 Distill Llama 70B has accuracy between 30% and 70%. I think that they explain this below. And O3-mini high has accuracy between 70 and 100%. I don't know, yeah, maybe here 70, I don't know where, but anyways, they explain that, and they say that any single run comparison between two models can be misleading because you can get like sometimes 30% or sometimes up to 70% for like the same run, I think. They explained it here somewhere. So if I keep scrolling, let's see what we got. They have a lot of text written, but these are all benchmarks. Average versus best of 5. And then we have general purpose benchmarks. It's doing quite well, even better than O3-mini in some of the benchmarks, while being, I think, smaller than O3-mini. So it's actually approaching O3-mini and better than GPT-4o. But it's a reasoning model, so it's gonna be better than non-reasoning model. The document is quite long. So 5.4 model suffers from degradation as you increase the length, the accuracy degradation. But the reasoning 2 models, they don't suffer as much from degradation as you increase the context length. If I scroll down below, it's just more explanations. I can't read all of this. We got some limitations, like it's only working for, or mainly working for English and stuff. And then if I go to ablations, okay, benchmark data, additional results. Okay, this is, I think, similar to what we've seen up there. I like the report. There is just too many words, bro. Check other videos on my channel, and thank you for watching and see you next time.